Hello. Do you have any idea of the flag? You got it. It's the flag of Canada. On January 2025, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced he will step down as Prime Minister and the leader of the Liberal Party. This came after several by-election losses and the resignation of key ally Chrystia Freeland. Trudeau's resignation will take effect after March 9, 2025, once the Liberal Party chooses a new leader. This marks a significant change in Canadian politics after nearly a decade under Trudeau's leadership. Today, let's talk about how Canada's government works. Like Australia, Canada is a constitutional monarchy. This means it has a king or queen as the head of state, but the government is run by elected officials. The political party that wins the most seats in Parliament forms the government. First, members of Parliament are elected using the first-past-the-post system. This means that in each electorate, the person who gets the most votes wins and becomes a member of the House of Commons. Canada holds a general election every 4 years. Now, what happens if the government loses support? The Governor-General can call an election if the government loses something called a confidence vote in Parliament. This is a test to see whether most members still support the government. If most members vote yes, the government stays in power. If most members vote no, the government must resign or call an election. The Prime Minister can also ask the Governor-General to dissolve Parliament and hold an election if they think it will benefit them. Finally, once an election is called, the campaign period lasts between 37 and 51 days. Most candidates start their campaigns once the election is officially announced, but some might begin earlier. The upcoming election of Canada due on 20 October 2025, 343 seats will be contested on the upcoming election. The number of seats in the Parliament based on population changes. Benefits. Strong governments. The winning party can govern without needing deals with other parties. Strong local MPS candidates who connect with their communities are more likely to win. Blocs. Extreme parties struggle to win without widespread support. Disadvantages of the system. 1. First past the post doesn't always match how people vote. A party can get lots of votes but still end up with fewer seats. 2. People often vote for a candidate who can beat someone they dislike, rather than the person they actually prefer. 3. A party can form government just by winning most seats. They doesn't need to win majority of the total votes. Canada electoral system history. In 1867, Canada's first election used FPTP, following the British tradition. Only a small group of men, mainly property owners, could vote. In 1917, the Wartime Elections Act gave some women, mainly those with relatives in the military, the right to vote, a step toward universal suffrage. 1948 to 1960. The right to vote was gradually extended to Indigenous peoples, removing discriminatory restrictions. 1970s present. Calls for electoral reform have grown. Some provinces like British Columbia and Ontario held referendums on switching to proportional representation, but voters chose to keep FPTP. All in all, the leader of the party in power, currently the Liberal Party, becomes the Prime Minister. Since Justin Trudeau is stepping down, the Liberal Party will pick a new leader. That new leader will become Prime Minister. But to stay Prime Minister, they need to win the next election. If people like them, they will vote to keep them, but if not, another party's leader will take over. Mark Carney is likely to be the next Liberal leader and Prime Minister.